So let's see. Sadzi asked about how do we measure our ketones and know when we're in ketosis. I used to do the blood, check the blood, the blood ketones, but those strips are so expensive that, I mean, if I have them, I'll check it. If I don't, I don't. I use the urine ones, and that works just fine. But, more or less I can just feel it. If I feel good and energetic and clear-headed, I know I'm in ketosis. And if I don't, then I'm not. So
yeah, I'm the same way. I used to measure with the blood ketone strips. Now I just go based off of feel. I find, at least for me, on a carnivore diet, I'm never really in deep ketosis. Like, I'm never really, at 2 millimoles or above. I'm usually hovering around 0.9 to about 1.3. Which I'm fine with. I don't, chase ketones. But the most accurate way is testing your blood. But if you've been doing this for a number of years, you'll know to just go based on how you feel.
Yeah. Well, I noticed too, when I went carnivore, my ketone levels came down and my blood sugar levels, the fasting blood sugar, rose a bit. And I actually think that probably is, related to the protein, because once I started trying to, consistently started trying to up my fat and bought all that fat from White Oak Pastures. Now I notice, like my pea sticks are like dark purple, and it's like, okay. Yeah.
Have you finished your White Oaks supply yet? Or?
Not yet, but I'm moving through it at a pace. So.
That's good.
I don't know if you saw the picture I took yesterday, but I took probably 1.25 pounds of the fat, and I cut it up and I sauteed it and on the stove in a stovetop and made cracklings, and then it nice. Rendered the rest. Very nice. Oh my God, it was so good. And I noticed that it tastes better than when I've ordered grass-fed tallow from Fanny and Flo, and that came and it tasted, it had no taste. I mean, it was very deodorized, it seems. And then this stuff, it has a taste and a flavor. It doesn't taste like just, blank fat. So I don't know if that's just because it's different cows or different people or what, or, just, me cooking it. But there's a remarkable difference. So I have no problem eating the tallow that came out of this rendered fat, but I don't like what I ordered from Fanny and Flo.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I've noticed the same thing with tallow. I'm not sure exactly why that is. I don't know if maybe these companies have some type of filtration process that they, do to the tallow that makes it taste that way. But I've noticed that anytime I've rendered my own tallow from the grass-fed fat, it not only can I tolerate it better, it also tastes slightly better than if I were to buy it in a jar. I still prefer the solid cuts of fat over tallow. But if I am going to eat tallow, I'd rather make it myself for sure.
Yeah. Well, I now know what I'm going to do. Let's see. Sadzi also asked, doesn't the carnivore diet trigger insulin due to the high protein levels? I think we just talked about that. And then she asks, Siz goes keto, asks, have we heard about Dr. Jason Fung in his book, The Obesity Code? Yeah, love that book.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I like him a lot, yeah.
It's like the best explanation of keto that I've ever heard, and it's so easy to understand. So,
and he explains fasting so well, so well. He has a great analogy that it's I'm forgetting it now, but he likens it to, you have all this stored fat on your body, and people think when you're fasting that you're starving, and it's not true. Especially if you have a considerable amount of body fat on you, which most of us do, that body fat is stored energy. That's what it's there for. Your body's storing fat so that when you reach a period when you don't have food available, it can tap into that for energy. So if you continue fasting, your body's going to have reserves to burn for energy, and you'll actually thrive pretty well. It's when you reach low levels of body fat, I would say maybe 8% body fat and lower. Fasting, bottom line, you're not starving. All of us have a lot more fat in our bodies than we should have. Fat is stored energy. Take a break from eating, 6 meals a day. You don't need to eat 6 meals a day. Let your body actually tap into the fat that it has stored. If you're eating 3 to 6 times a day, you're never giving your body a chance to actually utilize that fat as fuel. Your body has to burn through food before it can actually tap into its body fat. So fasting allows you to burn through its own body fat, use it as fuel, which is what it's designed for. When you get to a low enough body fat percentage, then you can, play with increasing your meal frequencies. But prior to that, you don't need to eat so many times a day. It's really not necessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I totally agree about fasting. So, I think that's a great thing. And also, it can really help if you're trying to get into ketosis really fast. I found it could really help. So, like fasting for a full day and going to the gym and doing like 45 minutes to even an hour and a half of cardio. That could help burn through that fat and get you into ketosis. Probably not the safest thing to do on a regular basis, but for emergency purposes, get your right back.
That's what I used to do. That's what I used to do when I first started keto, and I would frequently cheat. I would eat Papa John's pizza, or I would eat ice cream, and then I would go on the elliptical and just burn out completely for about 45 minutes, an hour straight, try to burn through all of that glycogen, and then the next day I was back in ketosis. And in my mind, I thought I found some life hack where I could eat crappy foods and still stay in ketosis, but that'll only last for so long.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
I mean, towards the end, well, when I was doing keto, towards the end, I kind of did if it fits your macros type thing where, I was eating like all meat and chocolate. And I don't recommend that. I think it's not best. And I'm still at that, even doing that, I was still doing way better physically than I was before. But now that I know what it feels like to be at optimal health, like it's, I know what I'm missing now. And I think everybody else who hasn't done this, and you really kind of have to do it for 30 days. But once you do it, you recognize, oh man, I was living in a dream before, and I didn't know. But once you know, you can't know. Yeah.